Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We went to movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained best pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the feeling bit by bit. Sweetie and Sweetie are here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey,
Hey, you want a s'more? S'more what? No, you want a s'more. I haven't had anything yet, so how can I have some more of nothing?
Shut up!
You're killing me, Smalls.
All right, who cut one?
These are s'more stuff. Okay, pay attention. First, you take the graham. You stick the chocolate on the graham. Then, you roast the mallow.
No, it's my sleeping bag. It's mine.
When the mallow's flaming,
Yes, it is yours. It's like a yellow stain on it.
you stick it on the chocolate.
I'm gonna set the place
Then-
on fire, Ham.
You cover it with the other end.
Here, make me one of those. Yeah, me too.
Then, you scupper.
I don't like that chocolate.
Kind of messy, but good.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about their favorite flicks from childhood. I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And today we're doing a baseball classic, a classic of baseball movies. I don't know. Of kids' baseball
Children's
movies.
baseball films.
It's not Field of Dreams.
It's
Let's
not
settle down.
It's Bull Durham. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the boxing one? Raging Bull. Okay.
Whoa.
Bull. Get it? Got
Yep,
it?
I got
Need
it. Good thing we figured that out.
So what was it?
The
Sandlot.
Made in
1993.
1993, starring a bunch of kids.
Yep. Who didn't really go anywhere out of the 90s children's movie set. But good in all their glory. Really enjoyed this one. Always do.
Always do.
Feel like it, has made the TV Saturday afternoon circuit
Yeah.
as long as I can remember.
Yeah, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Also, when I Googled, is the Sandlot streaming? It was like, the Sandlot will be playing on TV soon. And it listed all these days. It's like I feel like it's always on. It's always on ABC Family or whatever. I think
Right.
the internets said it was on IFC, which is weird.
Oh.
But yeah, it's always on TV. That's probably where we first saw it. I don't think we would ever see this in the movie theater.
Yeah, not really like. Okay, so I saw Rookie in the Year in the movie theater.
Okay.
So and I wasn't like afraid of baseball films. But yeah.
I don't want to go to the baseball movie, Dad. It's too scary.
No, just that like, I mean, I like a good sports romp and a summer vacation kids will be kids movie. Did I like them when I was a child though? I don't know.
I mean, it was always on TV, so we had to have been watching it.
Yeah.
all those times.
I mean, for sure, cult classic of anyone born between 1982, let's say, and 1987.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's like the year gap.
Yes.
So people around my age to people around yours, let's say.
okay,
Right?
30s
Yep. So we would be in our 30s now, guys. This is
and down.
fucking
Wait,
sad.
what was the time frame you said?
That the movie takes place?
No, that you said people would
Oh,
like it.
82 to 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. So I guess we should just start talking about it, or do you want to talk about anything else?
No, I think like let's just jump
Okay.
into. I mean, the only thing I'll say is that I feel like this is like this. Well, I can only really think of like, and there's probably others, but this like 60 nostalgia trend that like now and then, right, is like the women equivalent to this non-sports, but
Was that the same time period?
yeah, right.
I don't know.
I think so. 90s.
Maybe if somebody would stream it or allow someone to
Yeah.
stream it or rent it, we could know.
Oh,
We
you
would
mean
know.
like in the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they had all the same bikes and like everything. Maybe a little
Yes.
later in the 60s.
Okay.
We should do some research
Yeah.
on that
Don't quote us.
before we start saying stuff that's wrong, as we always do. But yeah, so I just find it funny because I feel like it's like, okay, people who grew up in, let's see, were born in the 50s, and when it was the 90s, they were like 40 years old, and they were making all these nostalgia movies, right? So is it going to be, when we're all 40 years old, we're going to make nostalgia movies about the 90s?
I hope so.
Yeah. What are they going to look like? What they're going to be of? Are they going to be of us watching The Sandlot? That'll
The
be like
movie is
super
just us watching a movie?
No, but I mean, like, what would it be about?
The 90s.
Yeah. What
I
do we
don't
do
know.
in the 90s that like sets it apart?
Watch
as
the O.J.
90s?
Simpson trial.
Right? That's what I'm always trying to think, like, how is that parallel going to work? But we can talk about that more later. I think you should just summarize this.
Legends of the Hidden Temple behind the big head.
Yeah,
Olmec.
watching Nickelodeon. That's what the movie's about. Okay, let's just start it up. It's time for the Sweetie Synopsis. Yeah.
Play ball.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Smalls.
Scotty Smalls.
No last name. Ugh, damn it. One of my questions is going to be, do you know Smalls' real name?
Scotty Smalls.
You already did.
S word.
Smalls, Scott Smalls, no last name, has just moved
No,
to...
that's his last name, isn't it?
I thought it was because he was small. That was
No.
his nickname.
No.
He's small.
I think his name is Scott Smalls.
I don't think he has a last name on the IMDb credit, though.
Yes, he does.
You're Smalls.
If it's in quotes, then it's not right then.
Then it's a nickname.
Yeah.
Let's see. Scotty Smalls. Okay, you're right.
Okay.
Wait, that is pretty ironic or coincidental or whatever.
He's not that small. He's not as small as Squints.
I guess. All right. Well, that
It's just 'cause
changes
he has that
everything.
giant hat
That
makes
changes
him look
everything
small.
I thought I knew about this movie.
Oh, man. Dreams crushed.
Fuck. Okay. All right. Scotty Smalls.
Scotty doesn't know.
We can just call
Scotty
him
doesn't
Smalls.
know.
Has just moved to the Valley with his mother and his stepfather, Bill.
So it does take place in California?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Stepfather named Bill, who sucks. I don't like Bill.
He comes around.
No, he doesn't really, though. Does he?
Yeah.
When?
He's sweet by the end.
He doesn't talk. We see him like look at the ball and be like, "Yay!"
Yeah, and then he's like, "Wow, look at this awesome other baseball you gave me. Like,
I don't know.
You win."
I don't know. So Smalls needs friends. He's kind of an egghead. His word, not mine. He is smart, doesn't have a lot of friends. Also, he's new in town, so it's hard. And it's the summer, so it's not like you can make friends at school. It's tough. So he sees some boys playing, like going to play baseball. So he follows them one day and tries to join their game. It does not end well because, unfortunately, Smalls doesn't, A, not know how to play baseball, B, can't even throw a ball, and C, is he wearing the big fish hat at that point? He's wearing this baseball hat with the biggest brim I've ever seen in my life.
But then when he wears it when he's older, it's not as big. So I'm assuming that's just because he has a small head. Maybe.
Well, I think they give him a different hat to make it seem like that. But that is just a big brimmed hat. Like there's something
it's like
wrong
a
with that.
duckbill platypus, like
Dinosaur.
yeah,
Fuck
whatever
that.
the dinosaurs
It's
were.
messed up. I hate that hat so much. So one baseball star, Benny the Jet Rodriguez, is nice. He's a nice guy, and he sees Smalls and says, "I'm going to help this kid out." And we need a ninth player for our baseball team. Makeover project.
Yes.
Claire Horowitz style.
Yes.
So he gives Smalls his like old. Okay, let me start by saying that Benny the Jet Rodriguez is like the coolest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
And hottest 11-year-old on the planet.
He wears like pants with like, what's that called when you like roll them up at the crop?
Yeah, but like a really big roll.
A big roll
In like
at the ankle.
60s, that was like the roll.
That was
they
the
did.
roll.
Not
Okay.
the roll of like the 80s and 90s, which we have talked about rolling.
That was socks, I thought.
And jeans too.
Okay.
But like it was that big cuff roll. So it's like 4 inches.
That's good. It's hot. So yeah,
And
that's
he's, like,
hot.
cool black sneakers.
Cool black sneakers. He carries like spare hats in his pocket just in case.
He has like those baseball shirts, which were like the color sleeves with the white, and there's like 3/4 sleeve. But then he always has a plaid
ringers?
shirt over it that like kind of flows in the breeze.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, keeps his jerseys unbuttoned.
Yeah.
So he's like super cool.
just
He wears like unbroken shoes to go on a baseball retrieving mission, which I find is very ballsy. Ballsy. He's just cool all around. So he helps out Small, gives him a new hat, gives him his old glove. Is like, I'll teach you things. So unlike stupid Bill, who's like trying to teach him baseball, except not. He's just throwing him the ball and not really helping. Benny's like, here's what you do. You hold the ball and you throw it, and when it gets to here, you let go. Duh. Like,
Seems
that's
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But
And that's
not
what
to
you needed to
Smalls.
do.
But yeah. He catches on really quick.
So he does catch on really quick. He makes friends with these guys, so the whole movie is kind of their summer shenanigans, all leading up to the biggest pickle of their lives, I guess. Is it their
Thus
lives?
far.
Thus far, which is not that long because they're like 11 years old. So Dumb Bill has a baseball signed by Babe Ruth in his baseball trophy room. They need a ball one day to play baseball. And, it was the 60s, so baseballs were expensive. And by expensive, I mean they were like $1.
95 cents.
90. Oh, I
to
thought
be
they said
exact.
98
Which does seem like a lot of money.
back then.
Yeah.
I know.
And they have
Bummer.
to keep getting more
I know.
baseballs.
Maybe they shouldn't be so good at baseball and hitting them over the thing. So Smalls is up to bat. He hits the baseball. It goes over the fence into the Beast's lair. And the Beast is this gigantic dog that lives next door and eats their baseballs and maybe killed a kid one time. We're not sure. So he freaks out. He's like, we gotta get that ball back. It was my stepdad's ball. Like, I don't know, some girl signed it. Baby Ruth. And the kids freak out and they're like, Babe Ruth. And Smalls did not know who Babe Ruth was. He knew that the Great Bambino was important, but I guess he didn't know that was Babe Ruth.
Right. Because the kids talk about Babe Ruth all the time.
But you would think if he wrote it down on his baseball stuff I need to know or need to remember that he would have looked into that a little further.
He should have asked Dad, Bill. Dad, what's his name? Dennis Leary, about it. Yeah. And then he would have showed him the baseball and like.
And this all could have been
This all
avoided.
could have been avoided. I mean, for
Pete's
being
sake.
an egghead, he's like quite a dummy. Really.
Well, I
Book
said
smart,
I
not
see.
street
Yes,
smart.
I said Smalls is one of those people who is smart but also dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Like he thought a girl gave that to his stepdad. Do you usually sign your name on gifts that you give people? No. Here's this shirt I bought you. I also signed my name on it so you'd always remember me. Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
And that's not how you spell baby.
Just, it's so weird.
It always is babe.
I have a lot
It's
of
not like
problems.
Betty and Bet.
I have a lot of that is confusing. I have a lot of problems with Smalls, and you'd think that it may have gotten better when he got older, but no, I hate him just as much, if not more, when he's an adult, and it's too bad. Too bad for
Sorry.
Smalls.
He's just not my cup of tea, that one.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. So they try all these things to get the ball back. Nothing works. Benny the Jet Rodriguez has a dream. Has a dream one night.
Do you have a baseball card of his?
No.
You think
Yes,
you would?
maybe.
Keep it under your pillow.
Baby, I love you. Gotta read those stats before bed. So Babe Ruth comes to him in a dream and says, just go over there and get it. And he's like, okay. Basically is what that conversation turns out to be. So Benny gets his brand new PF flyers out of the shoebox, puts them on. They're not broken in. I said this already,
Pretty
but
cool shoes.
that's very impressive.
For everyone who doesn't know, which we didn't really know.
Yeah, what are you talking
So I saw it on the stats, and they were like, PF Flyers like started releasing a new batch after this movie, and then I guess they were discontinued after. I'm like, what the fuck is a PF Flyer? I'm like, is that a wagon?
That's what I said. No, you asked that, and I was like, a radio flyer?
Yeah. So
I got
no,
confused.
they're black high top shoes, black laces, black everything. It's like pretty kind of cool look. Looks cool with those jeans versus like a Converse, which they did have.
Yeah.
I think some kids did
I
have
thought
Converse,
I thought that's
which
what they
is
were.
like black but had the white stitching and like the white sole and everything. So cool
Right.
PF
Little
Flyer.
different.
Kind of want one.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah, so he throws those on, jumps over the fence, gets the ball, jumps back over. They're like, sweet, we did it, we're safe. And then the Beast, the dog, comes like flying over the fence. And he chases Benny through the town, which I'm like, can't he just go in a house or something?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Such a showboater.
Like running everywhere. Like, and how far did he fucking run? So then they run all over the fucking place. And he's like, God, Sandlot. So then he just runs all the way back to the open field because that's the best place to like get away from the dog, And then they're back at the Beast's house, and the fence falls on him, and he gets crushed. and you're like, oh no, sad animal moment, and you're getting all ready to cry and stuff. And then Smalls is like, I gotta get him out. So he tries to get him out, and none of the other fucking guys will help him.
Horrible moment.
They're all sitting there just being like,
Cowards.
ugh, like, what the fuck? So Benny helps him, of course, because Benny's like the only decent human in this world, apparently. The beast is okay. He's okay. Really, not a scratch on him. He's not hurt at all. He was faking it, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't get up. It was too heavy.
Well, he was making those like sad dog noises. So what do you think? What am I supposed to think? Okay. I know. So they knock on the door. Who should answer it but James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones is their neighbor.
J.E.J. He's blind.
He's blind though.
Which makes sense because his yard is a mess.
Yeah.
And it's like, it should be like, here's your dog. P.S. Your yard looks like crap. Clean it up.
You think he's a hoarder, but no. He's blind and he doesn't give a shit.
So he lets him in. Turns out James Earl Jones is like a famous sort of baseball player in his own right. He knew the Yankees. He knew Babe Ruth. He trades them the Babe Ruth ball for a ball of his that has all of the Yankees that have signed it, Murderer's Row, and gives it to them. And that's great. So from this experience, they gain a new friend, a new blind friend, James Earl Jones, a new mascot, the Beast, whose name was Hercules. He wears a cute little shirt at the end that says Hercules. Very cute. He gets, like, Bill likes him better because he gave him a cooler ball. Yeah. I mean, he gets a lot of things out of it. Friends, baseball knowledge. He becomes a baseball announcer person at the end.
Best summer of his life.
Pretty great. So that's the flick. So it's really just one of those kind of summer, a lot of different shenanigans, kind of one big shenanigan movie. I don't know what kind of trope that is. But yeah, that's the flick.
Remind me of a lighter Stand By Me. In the way that it's like group of guys, summer vacation, some sort of mission. There's like the voiceover of the guy when he's older. Obviously, Stand By Me, like much darker, sadder, very sad. Nothing bad happens here because they did the same thing at the end, where at the end he tells like what everyone has done. Yeah. And in Stand By Me, he's like, oh, this guy died in a knife fight, and this guy, like, went crazy in Vietnam. This one's like, oh, this guy builds mini-malls, and this guy, like, is fine.
Well, Bertram got really into the 60s, and no one saw him again.
Like, some drug
That's dark.
stupor or cult or something.
Who knows what the fuck happened to that guy? Which, it is the 60s now, so that must have not been that far in his life.
If he was 11, if they're 11 or 12, and like 5 years later, it only would have been 1960. I mean, Woodstock wasn't until 69. So by 69, that would have been 7 years from now. They would have been like in high school, late high school, college. So that fits.
No.
It fits.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, I think these movies are really sweet because it's like we said, this like nostalgic 60s when everything was like, you know, everyone had block parties and like you had the summer baseball league and then you had the warring other baseball team who were like the snotty, whatever, rich guys who actually had no talent at all.
just had cool uniforms.
And it was like a mishmash of kids who were like, there's, you know, one black kid, a couple Hispanic. Mostly white.
Couple Hispanic.
Yeah, isn't like Lala, Yaya, whatever that guy's name was.
Lala? The MTV VJ, sister of Ludacris?
It's something like that. Nana, what is it?
Yaya.
It's Yaya.
Because he says it's Yaya. It's not the Yaya sisterhood. It's Yaya because he always says Yaya. He's like Yaya. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I think he's
Hispanic. Shut up, Yaya. You run like a duck. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, good mix of kids, which is surprising because there's still a lot of racial tensions in the country, right? At this time.
Right. Well, like so civil rights movement was like getting into
but yet they
had
things.
And there were no black baseball players, I don't think, yet until I remember my history knowledge when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. But that's what makes it so interesting that the James Earl Jones character like was black, but obviously like was a great hitter. Obviously didn't get to play for any like well-known teams because he wasn't allowed because of the color of skin. Bullshit. So in that sense, it's like you know, which is always said about the 60s, how that is this like old American, what is that called? Like perfect little streets and suburbia and this stuff, but in like the backdrop, or if you looked real deeper inside, tons of unrest and, you know, assassinations build up in Vietnam, like not the greatest time, you know.
Yeah, and yet they had a pretty good collection on their little baseball team that I'm just surprised that you know, they had Hispanic. No, that they had Hispanic and black people on their baseball team.
Yeah. Well, when you're that young, like, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know what they did.
I'm sure their
But, like,
parents
did you
were
see
like,
any other black people in that town?
No, and you don't see anyone else's parents or any of that.
Right.
Because it's not really supposed to be about that. It's just
Well,
supposed
no,
to be about
I
the
know.
kids.
But, like, it's just like,
Yeah. Oh, no. There's always one black kid, and that's why, like, they're trying to change Hollywood, because it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's dumb. So, what should we talk about first? That we love Benny. Benny and the Jets. Wait, did Elton John? Just kidding. That was before this. Did they name Benny after the song Benny and the Jets?
You just said it came out after.
No, but did they name this character when they wrote the movie after the song Benny and the Jets?
Oh, I get that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't. What is there left to be said about Benny? He's so hot. He was hot then. He's hot now. He's hot when I was 11. He's hot when I'm 34.
Wait, didn't we look at him now and he's not hot anymore?
I don't know.
I thought
he stopped acting after like Mighty Ducks 2, so I don't know what he looks like now.
I thought I tweeted this out like a year
And
ago.
which I told you, his older brother plays Benny as an older baseball player.
I didn't know
and
that.
he's not
I
that
just thought they
cute.
got some scary.
So if he turned into his older brother, then no thanks. But he is 38, which he's totally
that's what it was.
dateable
He was arrested for attacking a man recently.
now. Oh, that's sad.
This is what he's been up to.
Just kidding. I don't want to date you anymore. Sorry.
Don't attack me, please.
I'm pulling it back. Pulling it out.
Please. All right. Is facing up to 4 years in state prison after being charged with assaulting a man on Halloween.
Oh, no.
Read full article.
Well, that's
Do I
sad.
want to?
Well, that's sad. I mean, he's just like a regular person. So I read that the Benny, the actor who played him, was like standing in line at a school carnival, and some guy was like, "Hey, you'd be good in the movies," and like pulled him out, and then he was in like a couple movies as like a 14-year-old. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Wait, Benny's real name is Benjamin Franklin Rodriguez.
No. The character?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good one,
That's
parents.
Weird.
Wow.
I really love
Okay.
America then.
Yeah. Yes.
USA.
Who's your favorite Sandlot kid aside from Benny?
Oh, okay. The fat ginger.
Ham.
Hambino.
The great Hambino.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious.
That scene where they're like playing against the rival team, which has like the perfect uniforms, and they play in this beautiful stadium, and they like totally waste them. And Ham is like just what is that called? Like almost like heckling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's the catcher, so he's like heckling all the guys, and he's saying all these funny things. Oh my god,
Making
Guy.
a miss.
So
Love
funny.
it. It is good. Yeah, because of my fear of redheads with lots of freckles, I could never feel 100% on his side. But I do value his humor. I think it's pretty great. And as an adult, I like it. I do appreciate it. My favorite has always been Squints. Yeah. I just find him adorable. He looks like our father when he was little. And also like, what was the other?
Steve.
Also like Steve from Sex and the City a little. He's funny. And everyone loves Squints' forever.
And he talks slow the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like in these funny little... Everything he says is like slow and dragged out.
It's true. He's adorable.
Pull it back. What I find funny about the different characters. So on the team, so we've already said Squints, Ham, Smalls, Benny.
Yeah.
There's two little brothers, Tommy and Timmy. And then Bertram is this like tall guy with the glasses. And then who am I missing? Yeah.
De Nunez.
Yep.
Kenny De Nunez.
But it's funny how some stand out more than others. Just have better backstories or better like the little qualities that like set them apart.
Lines, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, that's funny because it's like Squints is my favorite. I mean, I think he gets a lot of the good stuff to do. But my favorite part in this is randomly when one of the brothers, I think it's Timmy,
Whatever the older one
whatever the older one is all dusty and he like comes out of the treehouse after the vacuum explosion and he's like very like matter of fact and I just love the way he delivers that and he really becomes my favorite character just because of that. So he's my secret favorite Sandlot player. When he's like my favorite thing that he says.
Favorite player
I like to, and I do say this like in my everyday life is when he's like, we're going about this all wrong. I blame myself. And I'm like, I don't know. I just like that.
It is really funny. And he's very dusty.
Yeah. Dusty. Dusty
Dustin.
buttons.
Should have been named Dustin.
Oh, good one. Good one. Okay, so as much as we love this movie, it is, there are a few parts that make us cringe as women. And the main one that I remember is when they're exchanging insults, Ham with the preppy guys, and they're saying all these terrible things to each other. But the thing that makes everybody stop and like go, I can't believe he did that, is when he says, "You play ball like a girl," which is like the greatest insult you can give somebody.
Right. And I feel like we've talked about this before, probably in Little Giants, right? Wasn't some similar line in that?
Maybe.
I really hope, as time marches on, that obviously those things stop. I mean, this movie, yes, took place in the 60s. Forgivable, I guess. Little Giants, a little less so, but, especially with Becky the Icebox, please.
But I don't think that they were aiming to make this 100% genuine, like, 60s stuff, right? I feel like as filmmakers, they had a responsibility to not include a line like that. Just because of how it, like, makes little girls feel when they're watching this.
And now we've had, obviously, that thing a couple years ago with what it means to run like a girl, and if you ask little girls now, they think it means to be like super strong and awesome. So basically, like, our job is almost done. Like,
let's hope so.
That has basically been reversed. But it's like using I don't know, like remember, like, we talk about gay jokes sometimes too, and how that was like the worst thing to be called gay, or be like someone is calling you if like you like a guy or something, a guy likes a guy, and how that's the worst thing in the world to be like that. Again, like, that's starting to come, those homophobic jokes are like coming away too. So, and the 90s was just a hotbed for all that stuff. I don't know, it was like a last ditch, like, God, we got to put something funny in here. Let's go for the sexist line. Like a writer's room being like, I think this one, we need one of these per movie. Like, that's what it feels like now that we've watched so many of these.
Which is a good complimentary scene to this is in Now and Then, when Roberta's playing it's the softball game. And there's like that douchebag on the fence, and she's the only girl playing against these boys in the softball. And the guy on the fence is like, "You can't play softball. You're a girl." Which is funny because now only girls play softball. And she like, she's like, "What did you say?" And they like get in a fight, and she like totally decks him.
Yeah,
she like punches him in the face, and I love it. So that's a good thing about that,
right? Because I feel like what they try to do with the anti of that is that there was always at least one, like, but it always was again, it's kind of like stupid though, like a tomboy girl who likes sports, and that was the only way that she could be really good, is if she like completely didn't like ignored her, let's say, feminine side, and then like focused on being a boy, and that's what made her good.
Roberta stopped taping her boobs after she kissed Evan Sawa on the swing.
No, I know. And even Becky was like, shoot, like, maybe I do want to be a girl. I read this interesting article in the New York Times about what this woman's daughter was a tomboy, and everyone is very much aware now of transgender and stuff, and they always asked her daughter if she's a boy. And she's super offended by that. And she's like, no, she's still a girl. She just, like, doesn't wear dresses, and that's okay. Yeah. And it was just this interesting article on, like, why we even still have that term tomboy. Like, why can't you just do what you want to do?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very interesting article. And just, as, like we said, movies are progressing. I think it's just so innate, the PC culture that we have, which can be kind of exhausting. At least we don't have those kind of laugh lines anymore. I just feel like that would be not funny at all now. We'd be like, wow, that's like so outdated. So yeah, we've come a long way, baby.
Yeah, still have a way to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying it's all over, but it's progress. Progress is key. Another one that is like a little bit icky, which I do like this scene though. I think it is very entertaining. So the CPR scene where Squints is like obsessed with Wendy Pfeffercorn. It's like peppercorn. No, it's like pfeffer.
It's like peppercorn.
Yeah, but it's PF, so you don't pronounce the P.
Is it
Pfeffercorn?
What?
It looks like peppercorn, but there's an F in there. Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I looked it up.
It doesn't say her last name.
Yes,
though.
it does.
No, it just says Wendy.
No.
Wendy as Marlee Shelton.
Yeah, no, it was in the trivia or the trivia bits. So Wendy Peppercorn is like a 16-year-old hot lifeguard, and Squints loves her, and she's at the pool, and he's always like trying to get her attention. Obviously, he's like an 11-year-old scrawny kid, not going to work out. So he like hatches this plan. He can't swim, dives off the deep end, and pretends to drown. So she will rescue him and then perform CPR. And then while she's performing CPR on him, he grabs peppercorn. That's confusing.
You're just mad that you made something
I
up.
like peppercorn. Okay. Anyway, jumps off the diving board and pretends to save them. He, sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. Thank you. She's giving him CPR, and he grabs her head and holds her face to his so he can give her like a smooch. Gross. But it's really funny and entertaining. They get kicked out of the pool.
It's sexual assault, but it's funny.
And then, well, he's like so young.
I know.
And then she really does find it charming, but I like turn to Sweetie and I'm like, would you find it flattering if an 11-year-old like tricked you into giving him a kiss, or would you find it creepy and gross?
I said I don't. It was a little aggressive. Like he like sucks the life out of her. Like he grabs her head. I don't know. It's just I feel like her giving him the mouth to mouth is enough. Like you don't need to do the like full on kiss.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it's a very funny scene. I feel bad that she has to mess up her makeup, and she still looks good. I guess it was waterproof. Everything. Yeah. which congrats. I do like her lipstick.
She had a whole red ensemble.
She did. And I've noticed this, like, a lot of people, like, she had a bra on under her bathing suit. And somebody,
sure it wasn't, like,
Ham had, like, underwear under his bathing suit. Or maybe that was their underwear? No, because why would they wear underwear under underwear? I don't know. But, like, what is with that? I don't know. Sweetie confusion.
Yeah.
Still happening.
Yeah, but I mean, they end up getting married, so... You know, okay. The grand scheme of things, I think they only were 5 years apart in age, so not that sketchy once you grow up. Like, we get it. But, yeah, don't do that, little boys. That's gross, okay?
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah. Also, like, date women your own age. Again, though that's kind of nice because he's the younger man.
Yeah.
I
Switching
approve.
norms. Good one. What?
Well, again, I just want to say, if this was reversed and you had a male lifeguard and a little girl doing the same thing, how would that have been treated in film? Would that ever been able to been made? No.
Yeah, definitely not.
Again,
super
problem.
creeps. That would have been creepy.
Yep.
See? Damn it. Fucked up again. So this movie has one of my least favorite. I mean, are there any favorite of these? No, but the worst barf scene, one of the worsts of all time.
It's not that bad if you had watched it. They don't. No. You don't show them. Okay, so you don't. Nothing comes out of their mouth. You don't see anything coming out of their mouth. It just drops.
Yeah, that's the gross part.
Like it's just like it's being dropped.
That's the grossest part.
But you don't see anything actually
it
coming
doesn't
from
matter.
their mouth. Okay.
There's like burping and then like gross sounds and then
really?
It like showers people and then they're like ugh. It just like never.
So it just like falls on like some shoes and then just like the bottom of the amusement ride.
Don't try to
walks. It's not as bad. I think if you force yourself to watch,
I've seen
things,
it.
We
watched it not that long ago
okay.
when we were on the Cape.
The worst part is that the barf is just really gross.
Yes, it's just an upsetting scene, and I didn't feel that it was appropriate for me to watch it when we're about to go on a plane ride.
Anyways, we're talking about the barf scene. The boys decide it's a good idea at a carnival to try out chewing tobacco for the first time,
and then go on one of those super like
those rides are the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know why those are fun. They're really not. They always make you feel horrible. It's not a good feeling. I'm not into those rides.
Just because you got a little sick on the Astro Orbiters at Disney World.
No. Let me tell you my amusement park throw-up story.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
My friend Amy, her 7th grade birthday, maybe 8th grade birthday, we went to the Barnstable County Fair, and we went in the morning, so we were like one of the first people on the rides. One of the rides was the Gravitron. Does anyone remember the Gravitron? So it's supposed to be like suspend gravity, so like it's this thing that just whirls around, and it plays this like funky music, and then you're like pushed against the side, and it's like you're floating, so there's like no gravity. This particular ride you know, there's always like carnies running all the rides at carnivals, and they're usually like hippies or like drug addicts. Sweeping generalization, but I'm sure that's mostly true. This guy was like total hippie, burning this like disgusting incense. I think I barely had any breakfast. I think I had like orange juice or something. And I get on this ride, and all of a sudden I'm like, man, I do not feel well. So it's like the Gravitron, you're like pushed against the side of the wall, and the thing you're on like goes up and down. And mine was like broken or something, so it didn't like work that well. Whatever. I am not feeling good at this point. Luckily, it stops, and then I throw up, hold it in my mouth, and then run out, pushing people out of the way. Not being able to talk, mind you, because like I barf in my mouth, and then barf outside.
A great story to be telling me before we go on our big trip.
It has nothing
tomorrow.
to do with flying.
Yeah, but you know me, and like I'll think of it in my head, and then I'll have a panic attack
Stop.
or something.
It was fine. And you know what? I recovered and went on a bunch of rides later. I was fine.
Yeah. Good for you. Well,
anyway.
I think that this scene is like the reason I don't go to carnivals and go on rides, because it's just like,
All right, stop being scared
scarred.
of life. You just gotta. It's okay if things go wrong. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's not gonna kill you.
You don't have a crippling fear of vomit like I do. So
Anyway, I
little
also want to
different.
talk about chewing tobacco.
okay.
In 6th grade, they gave us a slideshow about the dangers of chewing tobacco. Did this happen to anybody else?
Well, someone came to like talk to
Yeah.
you. I thought.
Yeah,
that
at our
what it
middle
was.
school auditorium. And they showed us a slideshow of people's like jaws being like holes in their jaws and tongues, like very graphic, to scare us out of doing chewing tobacco, because apparently that was a thing that kids did. I don't know.
Some
right?
people did, and like it's such a weird fucking thing. It's disgusting.
I dated this guy who like chewed tobacco once. I didn't
can't-
find out until I was at a bar with him. We had not stopped dating at this point, even if it was dating. And I see him like pick up my drink. I had like a cider, and like put like he took a drink, but then didn't. It was like an empty bottle, so I only had like my backwash in it. I'm like, what did you just do to that bottle? I was like, that was my backwash. Ew. He's like, oh, nothing. And I look in, and there's like all those little tobacco like threads in there.
That's so
I'm
gross.
like, ew, you chew tobacco? So I'd always found that when I kissed him, it tasted like weirdly like Dimetap. It was because he had like grape flavored chewing tobacco, and he would chew it at work, and he would have this big thing like sticking, like his jaw would be like this bulge, and I never could figure out why. And it was that.
It's like the most unseemly thing I've ever seen in my
know,
life.
like,
People just like spinning disgustingness into a
disgusting.
cup.
And,
Like,
like if you ever find those cups at parties and stuff, it was, like in college, that was a huge thing.
sick. No, I never did.
Anyway,
It's
so
disgusting.
luckily in this movie, that whole barf incident, wrapping up the barf incident here, they decide like, let's go back to Bazooka. So
Good.
yeah.
Good thing.
It's so nasty. And
yeah.
the way they talk about it, they're like, yeah, makes the players like gets them a lot of energy and like, you know, makes them play well. I'm like, yeah. Also like left them without tongues. Like, do not do it.
Crazy. Gross.
Do they you know if they outlawed that for Major League
think
MLB,
so. Yeah.
right?
They can only chew gum
They've
now,
got
I
that.
think.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. So sweetie confusion for me. I used to think that the part when Babe Ruth is like in Benny's closet, I thought that was Babe Ruth, and they like filmed him earlier before he died. And I was like, how did they make
honey.
how did they make
Oh,
it so that
honey.
he said those lines? Like, I had the same confusion when I watched Forrest Gump. I was like, why? I was like, how did they get all this footage?
I mean, they did such a good job. I mean, you were tricked.
Did I know what Babe Ruth looked like? Not really. Just that like one fuzzy picture in Benny's room, and like I don't know. But yeah. So always confusing.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny because that guy is also in A Field of Dreams, and I was like, wait, is he Babe Ruth in that too?
Is he?
No,
Oh.
I don't think it's the Yankees. It's like the Angels, right, or something.
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie.
Or the White Sox. Maybe it's the White Sox. It's something. But whatever team Shoeless Joe is on.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Or maybe they're on all different teams. I don't
used
know.
that a bunch in the Return to Oz podcast when I was calling Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Now I know why.
So, yeah.
Hey.
I like fell down a Wikipedia rabbit hole a little while ago, and I was trying to figure out the retired number sitch. So I was confused because at the end, when Benny's playing for the Dodgers, he's wearing jersey number 3, which was Babe Ruth's number.
Well, it's only within the team.
Yes, I figured
Sorry.
that out in my Wikipedia rabbit hole.
Sorry.
But there has only been one number that has been retired on all teams.
What?
Do you know what number that is?
God. No.
Jackie Robinson's number 42.
Oh,
So good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
It was confusing though.
Yeah.
But so that was the end of my confusion.
Wow.
What do you got?
I don't know. I just have like stories left. All right. So, in terms of my life in baseball, or because I was a girl, softball, I was pitcher.
Wow.
And first base, occasional shortstop.
And this was real
This is real
softball,
life.
not t-ball.
Yeah. So I played softball until fifth
She could
grade.
be like, "Oh yeah, I was pitcher when we played t-ball. We just stand on the mound.
T-ball? That was like crazy.
That was the only baseball I played."
So these are my memories from playing softball. I really enjoyed it. First of all, my sister taught me how to do the windmill pitch, which was like how real softball.
Wasn't that
players
mom's
do it.
specialty? Wasn't mom on a softball
No,
team?
Mom was not on a softball.
Yes, she was. Oh God, Carol, call Carol.
Okay, call her. I don't think so. She did cross country maybe, and yeah, and I was pretty good. I couldn't hit for shit, but I was pretty good in the field. And there's this one girl who always played in a fur coat. Remember her?
What?
Kristen
Ooh,
something?
no.
She's like this really tiny girl. Her mother was like a grandmother. She was so old looking. Remember? She was like really tiny. No?
I have no memory of that.
Ugh. She always played in a fur coat. It was so weird.
Hi, Mom. Hold on one second. All right, so we're doing the podcast, and we're talking about the Sandlot. The baseball movie.
I saw that.
Little kids baseball. Were you in an adult softball league?
No, I was in a high school one.
Oh, you
I
played
thought you
in high school?
when we were little, you were like in, or maybe it was just like a Cape. Did the Cape Codder have like a game one time? I remember going to see you play softball,
Really?
and you did the windmill.
Wow,
couldn't have
Mom.
been me.
I'm
No,
impressed.
Okay, maybe this was just a dream I had. Fine, I lost the bet.
Andre had a dream that her mom was like a great softball player.
All this time. It's all right. Okay.
Well, I was on my little team in Wales, the Wales Steamers. I don't know what it was.
Cute.
I was the pitcher. We won
Oh my God. See, that's why I was a good pitcher.
championship.
Pictures run in our family.
Yeah.
Cool. Remember when Liz got hit in the mouth with a softball?
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
That was awful.
That was scary.
Remember I picked her flowers and like wrote her a card? And she was like, "Get out of here."
Oh,
She was so mean to me. Because her face was like all busted.
yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah,
it
that
was
was really bad.
Okay, well, thanks for busting my dreams.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
Thanks for briefly being on the podcast to answer that
Always
question,
a
Carol.
pleasure, girls.
Okay. Bye, Mama. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Damn it.
So my other memory about being, other than the girl in the fur coat, is my first baseball glove was purchased at Bradley's. I think it was a baseball. It wasn't a softball glove. It was just like, run of the mill.
Yeah, because softball ones are huge.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was basically made out of plastic, that like plastic leather. Let's say pleather.
Yep.
And it was, signed by Andre Dawson. And I remember I was so excited because obviously Andre's name is Andre, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I probably used to show you, and I was like,
thought it was
Andre.
cool to have your little sister's
Well, I
name on
just
your
thought it
baseball
was
glove.
neat.
I know. And then I would use it and be like, look, it has my name on
Yeah.
it. And then he became like my sort of favorite baseball player, but only because of that.
Andre Dawson.
I don't really know
Chicago
anything about him.
Cubs.
Oh, yeah. He's on the Cubbies.
The Cubbies.
We could have gone back in time. Put some money on the Cubbies. My favorite line.
But yeah, did you play softball? I forget.
My baseball career was sad and depressing. Here's the story. Well, I played t-ball when I was little. Didn't really like it. It was a little too scary for me. I remember the terrible uniforms. It was like gray.
Oh, the pants and the itchy shirts.
What kind of what's that fabric called?
Polyester.
Ugh. Really? Ugh. They were like so thick.
Got dead in those polyester
And then
wax.
and then the hats with the net.
Also itchy hats.
Hat
Everything
and
was
the thing.
itchy. And then there were bugs, so like then you were itchy
Okay,
with the bugs.
I think it was the bugs was like my least favorite part about that. So I didn't really stay on that for long. But in gym class in 6th grade, our gym teacher was kind of mean and wouldn't let me get off the mound until I hit the ball. And I was getting really flustered and like upset, and she would not let me leave. And the class was mad
What
because
gym teacher was this?
well, it's the parent of someone we know,
Oh, okay.
so I don't.
So we won't say.
I didn't want to say, but the other kids in the class were getting like mad at me or mad at her. I don't know, because it was literally like the entire gym class I took up trying to hit this fucking ball.
sad.
And it was so embarrassing. And I finally hit it. And it was just like a really bad day for me. So after that, I'm just like, I'm never playing baseball again. So I feel like very few would do it. I might play wiffle ball on occasion, but yeah, it wasn't the sport for me. It's not my best. So that was my sad career.
Yeah.
Sad story.
No, it was fun. I played softball, I think, longer than I did basketball. But agreed, it was buggy. The uniforms were itchy and ugly. And why do girls have to play softball, though? Why can't we all just play baseball? I don't get it. Why do there have to be different stuff for, like, a different sex?
I mean, the ball is... I never understood it. Like, the ball is bigger.
That's it. That's the only difference.
So that we can catch it more easily? I feel like it was harder to hit, though, because it was bigger.
It just sucks in general. Why can't we fucking play baseball? And then there could be the option, there's that show now where it's like a girl makes it into the Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah. With Zach Morris, isn't it?
Mark Paul Gosselaar. And that would make it so much easier if we just all had the same, like, teams. You could still segregate it to be, like, girls and boys, but at least have it, like, so we're all playing the same fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, does men's volleyball, is it different than women's volleyball? No,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
Like, why for that? It's so
Well, it's like
dumb.
basketball. The ball is smaller, right? Than the
Are the
men's
hoops
one?
lower?
I don't know.
This
Probably.
is horse shit.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Anyways, that's my sports gripe. Sure, we're gonna get a lot of fan mail about this one.
Sports. Do you have a specific favorite part in this, or is it kind of just?
I will say that, like, the part, so, like, they lose the baseball to the Beast, and then they do this, like, whole thing of trying to get the ball back. That part really dragged for me.
Yeah.
I was like, can we, like, speed this up? Do we have to show every
Every
little
attempt.
thing? And it was just kind of, it got boring by the end. I don't know. It's like when they weren't playing baseball or having the other hijinks, it wasn't as fun. I don't know.
Interesting.
That just kind of stalled
Okay.
there for me.
Well, that part is strange because, and you questioned this, which actually I thought was a pretty good question, and one could write a think piece on this of whether or not the kids were imagining the Beast's ferociousness. So in the story that Squints tells, obviously it's in his mind, so it's a giant like puppet dog. Like no dog would ever be that big, obviously. It's fake. But then when they're trying to get the ball back, it's still that kind of puppet big dog, fake dog thing with like giant paws that like grab things. He's like grabbing the erector set and like ripping it apart
And throws it
over the fence? Question mark?
So I don't like. I think is they're remembering things being a lot bigger. Case in point, remember that story I've told about the Doberman Pinschers?
Yes.
Like they were much scarier. Things are much scarier as a kid when you don't see them.
Yes.
Once you see them, obviously, like because at the end of the day, that dog was just a dog. It was like kind of a slightly big dog, but it was not like
the Sandlot dog or the Doberman Pinschers?
the Sandlot dog.
Okay.
And the Doberman Pinscher dogs too. Like once we saw him, I was like, oh, it's just a dog.
Right.
And I don't know what it is as kids being like scared of dogs. Even like
Well,
I'm not scared of dogs.
I think it was just a
never
certain
was.
kind of dog, like a dog,
Right.
like a junkyard dog,
Yes.
or like a big dog.
Doberman
that's-
Pinschers, German Shepherds, those who have to be chained up.
right? Which but in this, it just seemed a little ridiculous. And then by the end, he's just a normal dog, and you're like, what the fuck?
And he's real sweet and like he
Super
just like
sweet. He
baseballs.
just I mean, like, did he need to get like super violent to like get that? And also, which always bothered me, is that even if they got that stupid ball back, I think Bill would know that something was amiss. Like, why is it disgusting, covered in dog spit and all chewed up?
Right.
I feel like you'd be in trouble either way.
It just became a mission.
So yeah, I guess. But like, why try to kill yourself in the process?
Yeah. It was just I feel like that part could have been like I know that was like the whole pickle and like they say it in the beginning. It's like the whole point of the summer, like the big story of the summer. But really, it was like, all right.
Wait, the Beast wasn't James Earl Jones' seeing eye dog or anything, was it?
No.
How did he get around? Did he leave that house ever?
I think with people who have had like, let's see, it sounds like no, he had see, so he had been able to see. He hadn't been blind his whole life, so I think that makes it a little bit easier. Did he leave the house? Probably not. But he got like he's drinking his little tea and he's like touching his little baseball. So I think he's okay.
Don't you think there's something in that tea though? Because he makes like a face, like a grimace when he drinks it, and you're like, what kind of tea is that?
I know. I love him.
I know.
He's so smiling.
Also in Field of Dreams. Whoa!
What? I just like all his little like character parts. You know, he's not the biggest part of that. Let's say in like Sneakers, which we totally have to do. Oh my god, I love when he's in Sneakers at the end. Mr. Abbott.
Hang up.
Obviously, Star Wars. What else is he in?
So many things.
Yeah, just stuff that I haven't seen, but maybe have seen.
The Lion King.
Best part of that movie. By
Saddest.
Far. Never cried so hard in my life.
Oh, Mufasa.
Is that the one you had diarrhea or me?
Yes, it was me. Yours was Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right. Okay.
Good times. Good times. Now that
Dad has to go with you to the bathroom. Or no, or didn't he? Just waited outside.
He waited outside, but like we kept having to leave, and he was like, is it number 1 or number 2? And I was like 6. No fucking clue what that meant. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Oh, little dad with his little girls. So cute.
So adorable.
Oh my god.
Good times. Never
Miss that man.
But again, still get a little tummy trouble when I watch The Lion King. No, just
We
kidding.
almost watched Mrs.
I'm
Doubtfire
just
today.
kidding.
I'm glad we didn't.
It's not
I
like
probably
going to
would've too.
TJ Maxx. It's like instant diarrhea. It's the lights. I'm telling you, it's,
man.
it's the lights.
Is this not the second consecutive podcast we've talked about poop?
What? Consecutive? What? We talked about it in Return to Oz?
No, it was the one before that. Oh, dying on the toilet.
Dying on the toilet. Yeah, you're right. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
we do
it's fine. No, we don't. It's fun. That's why people like us.
Large Marge sent us to the crapper.
Good one. Good one.
Anything else?
So there's a scene in this that always is like a eureka moment for me, and it's when Ham is making the s'mores like on the candle, and I'm like, why don't I do that? Like, you know, you want a s'more, but it's not as good when it's in the microwave. You kind of want that little toasty toast. Use a candle.
Yeah.
And I could also use my stove, but like, I don't know, just it seemed obvious to me, like a candle. But I only have scented candles, and I think it would make that would be bad, right?
You'd be like, fresh linen s'more.
Tastes fresh out of the laundry.
Tastes like towels.
Love it. Yeah, I'll have to get some unscented candles and
There you
try it
go.
out. But I love that part. But yeah, I don't know. Just, makes me feel good about summer.
Yeah.
Reminds me just when you were little, summer felt like a really long time.
No, I was thinking about that today. Like 2 months and a little of like not having to wake up and go to school. It was the best. And like we were really lucky. We didn't really get sent to like summer camps
Except
or
for
like
that one time.
Yeah,
I
we
should have
did.
kept Kara on the line to talk about
God.
that.
So I don't even know what they did with us or like who took care of us, but we were
Nobody.
like-
We were self-sufficient.
we were just like riding our bikes all day, like going to the beach. It's just like
Not even. We
riding
weren't
to the
really go to the
library,
beach. Yeah, we would
getting
ride
Italian
to the
ices.
library and get an Italian ice and sit and watch it. We go to the pond. We didn't really bike to the beach. That felt like that was
well, or no, mom and dad would take us though.
yeah.
But
when
like
we were by
had
ourselves,
so much freedom as very small children. I cannot believe like now. I don't know. If I had kids, I'd probably let them, but I don't think a lot of people
depends
would.
on where you live, I guess.
Yeah.
The situation is there, but yeah, summer was the best.
It still is, but now you have to work.
No,
so.
it's not though. Yeah, right. It's not. It's like
Well, it's just so weird when you're as an adult. You're never gonna have, unless you're a teacher, have that extended kind of time off anymore. So it's pretty rad. If you're a 10-year-old listening to this podcast, you take advantage of the summer vacations.
Don't swear all the time though, like we do.
Yeah.
Bad example.
Bad.
But no, just kidding. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Play baseball if you're a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rad. Super rad. Super
man.
rad.
All right, crap face.
Okay, so
Ready to
we'll
shut
probably
down?
release this while we're in LA.
Woo!
So Sweetie's going to be on Jeopardy. So we're very excited. We're leaving tomorrow.
We're going to California.
Oh my god. Just like the Wizard.
I know.
My friend Jess was like, this is going to be like the Wizard, like the video game thing at the end. And it's going to be exciting. And I was like, oh my god, I hope she finds the warp pipe like right away.
You guys, I'm just saying, like, I am just going to try my best. I really don't think I have any shot of winning, but and I don't want you to think that I do. So I just want you to be proud of me for going.
Of course we will.
And hopefully getting second place. I'm going to be so pumped about second. We're going to celebrate so hard if I get second. And even third, because that's the kind of game it is. You win no matter what. Yeah. Unless I get in the negative and don't make it to Final Jeopardy.
Oh my God. No, that won't happen.
Then you can throw rocks at me when I come back. But yeah, send me all your good trivia vibes at 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time. I will need them. And hopefully pray that I'm against really stupid people. And I get categories like ballet, American authors,
pop culture,
80s
and 90s movies,
80s and 90s movies, cartoons,
you know, the easy stuff,
politics.
You'll do great. You'll do great. I'll be there. We'll be documenting the trip. Follow us on Instagram to check that out at Large Marge Sent Us, and on Twitter at the Sweetie Club. We'll be sending live updates, live tweeting the event. Just kidding. I'm not allowed to have my phone. But yeah, so we're excited. As always, thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time, kids. Bye. Bye.
I'm Don Wrinkle, and everybody's got a podcast. And if you're gonna listen to one, In Poor Taste is the way to go, because it's very greasy.
This is Bill Lawyerson to tell you that In Poor Taste is the podcast you should listen to if you want to get sued.
I'm Big Jim, here to say if you listen to In Poor Taste, guess we'll give you a Christmas handy.
It's In Poor Taste. It's definitely not a comedy podcast.
And it's definitely not educational.
And it's definitely Australian.
Stop asking!
Hello, I'm a Giorgio Casadoro, and this is my brother.
Fativa.
Come on down, In Poor Taste. We're taking it back and polish your jewels.
That's us.
South Hills, Pittsburgh.
Born and raised.
Listen to In Poor Taste on the Podsberg Network. www.podsberg.com/InPoorTaste for all of your edutainment-tional podcast needs.
If you guys said they were fun.